Okay, so I actually finally went and did it. I bought the Galaxy Watch Ultra. So, is this really an Ultra watch? So, let's take a look at this in a bit more detail. But first, before we move on to that, my name's Jess, and this is my channel where I like to talk about all things tech and productivity and lifestyle. So, if that floats your boat, why not hit that subscribe button and let's dive into the video. So in this video, I want to talk about three main areas of this watch: design, features, predominantly the health and fitness features, and the performance. These are the three areas that I've mainly been focusing on and what I want to share with you as to my thoughts of whether it's really ultra. So let's look at the design first. So this is a different design completely to the Galaxy watches that we have seen previously. And the Galaxy Watch Classic, which has that rotating bezel. This is a square cased watch, but it also has that similar, familiar circular face. Now, I really wasn't too sure about this design when I first looked at it, but when I bought it, it started to grow on me, and I do like it. I'm still a little bit unsure, and a lot of people have been saying that Samsung have copied Apple on the Apple Watch Ultra. I personally think they look very different. So if I get my Apple Watch Ultra here, for instance, you can see that this is very much a slimmer, square watch face, whereas this is a very much more chunky, square face for me, but still has that circular design. So there are still some very distinct differences. So from my point of view, they are different. In terms of what we get that's new on the Galaxy Watch Ultra, so we now have a quick button, which is very similar to the action button on the Apple Watch Ultra. This allows you to just quick start some activities. I personally have it set to health and fitness, so I can quickly get into either starting a walk or a run. But you can also set up other things on there. So if you want to use a flashlight or a timer or anything along those lines, then it is configurable to that. But let's talk a little bit more about the actual display on this particular watch. So you are getting, it is still sapphire glass, so it's really, really strong. I haven't experienced any scratching on this, and I've been wearing this solidly for 2.5 weeks now. It is 1.5 inches in diameter for the size of the actual watch. I find that is a really nice size. It's really easy to be able to see the watch and the information that is on there. You also have this new dynamic lug system, which is really easy to take off and on your watch straps. And there is a number of watch straps, whether it be Samsung or third-party watch straps that you can use. So I've currently been using the default watch strap that it comes with, which is a marine loop, which is very similar to the ocean strap that Apple have. I think I prefer this over the Apple Watch strap. I prefer the actual buckle on here. It's a really nice buckle. It's solid. It looks really premium, and it's just nice. It's comfortable. What I would say is, with the material that is used to make these, if it's hot, it is going to get sweaty, and I often find that I have to loosen it because it starts to feel a bit tight on my wrist. But in general, it is a really comfortable watch strap. So let's talk a little bit about features, and specifically the health and fitness features, which is what I predominantly use my smartwatch for. So I'm really into, at the moment, trying to track my sleep, my recovery, how many steps I'm doing, and I'm currently training for a half marathon. So having the running and the fact that it's now got dual GPS is really useful. It means that it's tracking your distance and that little bit better, bit more accurate than the other watches that we have. So that's really helpful for me. In terms of the things that you see that are particularly new on here is the recovery score. So you need to wear your watch overnight to get this recovery score, but it will basically tell you whether you are well recovered, whether you need to rest, and it takes in a number of factors to get this recovery score. So your heart rate, your HRV, all of those sort of things, and then it will come up with this recovery score. So again, the AI bits that are in there is really helping to bring on those health and fitness features. So I personally have only used it a couple of times because I don't particularly like wearing my watch to bed, and I have my Aura ring, which tells me those things as well. But if you are completely in the Samsung ecosystem and you get the Galaxy Ring, then that will connect into that and you'd still be able to get that recovery score. But if you don't have a smart ring or something along those lines, you will have to wear the watch overnight to get that particular recovery score. There's other things in there that they've introduced, like multiple exercises. So if you're training for a triathlon, for instance, there is a exercise that you can click in there and it will track each of the elements of your training for that particular activity, which is really useful if you are a triathlete or you are doing multiple exercises in one session. I personally haven't used that because I don't do triathlons and haven't had the need to, but I very much enjoy the health and fitness. I've enjoyed the screen with it being really big and chunky. So it's really easy for me to be able to see and swipe through to see what zone I'm in for my training, etc. So really good health and fitness features. Obviously, it still has the health and fitness features that we have seen with other Galaxy watches. So you have your ECG, oxygen. You can also do your body composition. I haven't done it so much on this one. I've done it on previous ones, and I take those readings with a pinch of salt because I don't believe that they are 100% accurate, but they are useful for you to be able to see trends in whether you're trending up in some of these or trending down, and you can adjust your training and your diet and lifestyle accordingly. And it's a useful measure, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it's 100% accurate. And onto some of the other features. So this now comes with LTE as standard, which is quite cool. So I've got mine hooked up to my SIM. So when I'm out and about, I don't need to take my phone and I can just run with the watch, and you can obviously download some music on there, or you can stream music through Spotify or whatever streaming service you use. So when you're out running or just walking, it's quite nice to be disconnected from your phone for a little while. There's obviously a load of AI features that they are trying to pack into these. I personally haven't really experimented with the AI features. I'm just an everyday user. I just want to be able to tell the time, get some, see my messages and track my health and fitness. So for me, those are not something that I've really gone into a great detail about. To the third topic that I want to cover in this video, and that's the performance. So I've struggled previously being able to stick to using a Galaxy Watch. I've used them and probably stuck with them for a few days before going back to my Apple Watch Ultra. I've had this watch on my wrist now solidly for just over 2.5 weeks, and I've seen a massive improvement personally from my experience with the other watches. It's got the Exynos chip in there, but it's a lot snappier. I don't see as many lags within the watch, whereas previously I'd be swiping and it'd take a little bit of time, and it just wasn't quite as fluid as the Apple Watch experience. And for me, that was always a limiting factor for moving over to using the Galaxy Watches. This time round, it's a lot speedier. The UI is nice. If I had to, I could stick to this watch. Not a problem. It's quick. It's still not as quick as the Apple Watch Ultra. The experience is still not quite there, and I think that's something that the gap is closing, but there is still a gap for me. And personally, I still prefer the Apple Watch Ultra. But if you are a Samsung user, I don't think you are going to see any reason not to get this watch. You will enjoy this watch. It is quick, it is snappy, it is responsive. It's just not quite on the level of the Apple Watch Ultra, in my opinion. Wear OS is still, it's good. That it's coming along. The UI and the interface is good. It's still not quite as good as the Watch OS, in my opinion. I find that the UI and the interface in the Apple Watches is just that little bit more slick, and I prefer the way it looks. But overall, it is a good experience. Moving on to one that is always a hot topic, and that is battery life. I've found that the battery life on this is good. When you look at it, they say that you should be able to get two days battery life out of this. Not quite sure I'm hitting quite 2 days of battery life. It has obviously optimized over the time that I've been wearing this watch, and I would say that I'm getting a day and a half, maybe a little bit more before I have to put this on charge. But that is with using it for exercise tracking. I have LT on, always on display is always on. So I'm using it all the features that are going to drain the battery. And I would say that, yeah, it's not quite 2 days, but it's not too far short of that, which is good. I think if you want to get longer battery life, then you're going to have to look at the Garmin's of the world, where you can get silly amount of battery life on there. But for a smartwatch that is also incorporating really good health and fitness, I think that a day and a half to 2 days is pretty acceptable. So let's come to the conclusion on this watch. I said at the beginning, is this watch ultra? And yes, I think it is to an extent. It gives you good battery life. It gives you really good health and fitness features. It has, I didn't talk about the dive features, but it does have those as well. So I think, yes, it compares with the Apple Watch Ultra in terms of the features, fall detect and, SOS calling and all of that kind of good stuff. So I would say if you're looking for a good watch that gives you all of those features, then this is a good option. It also comes in at £599 in the UK, which is a good couple of £100 cheaper than the Apple Watch Ultra. So it is priced really well, I think. I think if you, like I said, if you want something that's a bit more ultra and really, really into the fitness, then you are going to have to look at the Garmin's. But in general, this is a really good watch. And, if you are, like I said previously, in the Samsung ecosystem, then this is a really good choice for you. Personally, will I be sticking with the Galaxy Watch Ultra? I don't think I will be. I am an Apple girl at heart, and the Apple Watch Ultra for me is the best smartwatch out there, and with the health and fitness elements that it has. So I will be switching back to the Apple Watch Ultra, but I have really enjoyed my time with the Galaxy Watch Ultra. And if you are looking to get out of the Apple ecosystem, then this is a good watch. It will pair with other Android ones, but you won't get all of the health and fitness benefits. But if you're going into the Samsung ecosystem from another one, then yeah, give this a try. So there you have it. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe and the like button down below. And I will catch you in the next video.